John Gottman says that to make a relationship last, you need 3 ingredients: become better friends, learn to manage conflict, and create ways to support each other's hopes and dreams. This right here is the short list of ingredients you'll need for a happy and successful marriage. However, as we all know from our experiences baking or cooking anything, it's that the ingredients don't necessarily tell you how to put it together. I used to think that baking chocolate chip cookies was so easy, that you could just take all these ingredients, throw them in the bowl, and then mix them all at once with your hand mixer. And those cookies turned out good, they're okay. I didn't really know any better. But as I got older, I learned that I can make my cookies taste so much better. For example, like creaming the butter and sugars together makes them more fluffy, gives them a better texture and everything. I also learned that I should just take the time and preparation ahead of time to lay out my butter so it can soften instead of putting it in the microwave to melt, because that was making my cookies flat and crispy. Of course, all of this knowledge came with time and after making thousands of cookies. So because I love cookies so much, I came up with a little object lesson for marriage with cookies and baking cookies. Basically comparing the recipes to the marriage recipe. So for example, some of the ingredients have some good representation with marriage and the directions of how to actually combine them better in your recipe. For example, I think that butter represents like the foundation of your marriage because it's like the foundation of a cookie. It could be like all the things that you have in common, all the interests, your hopes, your dreams, the things that make you individuals as well. And just like there's a lot to know about your spouse, there's a lot of butter in cookies. So there's kind of your foundation. And then another thing that I found was with the sugar. The sugar could be representative of all the fun and friendship in your marriage and dates, things like that. And just like I found with creaming the butters and sugars together was better for your cookies, I feel like that same concept is better for your marriage when you look at all the interests and things that you have and making your date nights and making fun out of all those things that you guys have in common, or making dates that are specifically to that individual and their separate interests. I think that a lot of people in marriage, they just kind of throw those two things in the bowl and don't really take as much time to be thoughtful about their dates or be thoughtful about doing fun things that interest their spouse. And they could go on the rest of their marriage just doing that. And they could probably have a good marriage. But I think that they could have a better marriage if they took the time to plan that fun and friendship in their marriage. So we may be told all of the qualities and actions that we need to have a happy, successful marriage, just like John Gottman did in listing those ingredients. But we have to learn how to apply those qualities and actions correctly and at the right time in order to make it the best recipe that we can. If we don't follow the directions to this marriage recipe carefully, by like trying to find shortcuts or substitutions, not taking the time and preparation that's needed to make it a good recipe, then we're risking having the best marriage we can have. So some of you might be thinking, okay, you've told us the ingredients and that we need to apply them correctly in order to make a good recipe. So how do we do that? Well, keep reading in this blog post and I'll give you some tips of how you can make the best marriage recipe.